Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Well, hopefully we can get a few more people joining us. It's a little after 6 though. I want to welcome all of you to our Lewis Avenue Reconstruction meeting. We want to go over a project that we have that will be happening next year. And with me, I have Tim Grosjean, who is our senior roadway engineer, Gary Stuckey, who is our senior transportation engineer, and then Joel McGordy, who is the design and project engineer for this. And I am Christy Sonkrant, the administrator at the Division of Engineering Services. I am going to go ahead and turn it over to Tim. And I do want to let you guys know, if you can, place your questions in the Q&A and we will get to those at the end. So if you want to go ahead, Tim, and get started.
Okay, thank you, Christy. Hi, as she said, my name is Tim Grosjean. I'm the head of roadway design and engineering services. And we wanted to get together and talk to you guys about this Lewis Avenue construction that's happening in 2023, because there are going to be a lot of changes out there to what it currently is. So we wanted to get ahead of it and show you guys what's going on out there. So we can go over a little bit of the history of Lewis Avenue out there. This is one of those roads that every year I constantly would get questions. When are we doing Lewis Road? Why are you doing this other road instead of Lewis? Lewis Avenue is one of these that is an older road, doesn't have any curbs out there right now, and the drainage system is very poor. So we want to upgrade all of that stuff for you. There are over 13,000 vehicles per day, and there is a lot of truck traffic out there. So we have to factor that in when we're going through our design for this road. We submitted applications for funding because this is a very expensive road. So we have to find outside funding, either through the state or federal government. And we did that in both 2016 and 2018. And 2016, it didn't do too well. So we changed a couple things around and it did get awarded in 2018. So when you get it in 2018, the funding is usually available 5 to 6 years after the application is awarded. That gives time for them to, kind of put the funding in the queue for a future year. Plus, it gives everyone else time to develop the plans. So that's where we're at right now. Is we are in the middle of designing the road and what's going to be happening out there. Just an FYI for everyone else. There is a separate ODOT safety project at the intersection of Lewis and Alexis in 2022. They're going to be upgrading the signals out there, and they're going to resurface the intersection because there's going to be some striping and some extra turn lane movements out there. So just a very slight amount of widening. And when it comes right to it, our city project is going to match right into the ODOT project, right where they leave off on Lewis. So they're just basically going to be through the intersection. So then we'll just talk a little bit about our funding. The total cost for this project, this is why we have to go for outside funding, is that it is approximately $5.2 million. With the application that we put through, 80% of the funding is going to be paid for with federal funds. So what we did was you can add other funding onto that. So we went after another application for state funding that will pay for an additional 10% of the construction. So the good news is that for a $5.2 million project, the city's only responsible for around $520,000 of the project. That's why we go for all these applications, because that just stretches our money out further and we're able to take care of more roads. So, I mean, we're really excited to do this. There's going to be some changes out there, including we're, kind of happy that we're going to be putting out some curb, because that is one thing that the drainage out there has been very poor. So we want to make sure that if we're going to improve this road, that we're going to do it right. So, but I will let Joel McGordy talk to you about that. He is the design engineer that is currently working on it. So I will turn it over to Joel.
Thank you, Tim. As Tim said, I'm the design engineer, Joel McGordy. I'm just going to kind of go over what we've got so far in the design and just take it piece by piece. The areas under construction that we're looking at are Laskey Road to Shanty Creek, just kind of south of Home Depot there. This area of the road will be completely redone, removed all the way down to the dirt, and then built back up with a thick pavement section. That way it will withstand quite a long time. Hopefully we try to aim for around 30 years or so with proper maintenance. Then the second section that we're looking at is from Shanty Creek north to Alexis. It's just a little south of Alexis. We'll be tying into what Tim said, that ODOT project. This area, we're just going to be resurfacing the road as it was redone not too long ago, but we'll still be adding the curbs on the outside, just as the same as we're going to do on the southern half there. As it says, the project will be adding curb and gutter the whole length of the project. Once we do that, we're going to have to put in new storm drainage to be able to collect the water in the gutter pan and dispose of it correctly. I know there's lots and lots of businesses along this area. All businesses are going to receive a new designated driveway. I know everyone usually has the pull-up driveways or just pull-up parking. With putting in curb and gutter, we have to put in curb drops. So with this, we're going to be designating a certain section as your driveway. It'll be concrete, just as the back. As it says down at the bottom, we'll be adding sidewalk the whole length of Lewis. So from the sidewalk out, we'll have a concrete drive apron. More parking spaces also. I know a lot of it with the pull-up parking, you'd be losing that with the curb and gutter. So what we'll be doing is adding 3 parking bays along Lewis Avenue to provide street parking. The first one would be at the west side of Lewis in front of 5037 Lewis Avenue. This is just north of Laskey. Next, on the west side of Lewis from Southover to Weybridge, there will be a parking bay. And then the last one is on the east side of Lewis in front of 5256 Lewis. And we're going to show a map and you'd be able to see these areas here in a couple minutes. As I said, new sidewalk will be added where there is none to connect sidewalk all the way from Laskey to the northern end of the project. During construction, Lewis will have to be constructed in one half or a half at a time, just due to the width of the road. Because we're going to have to do one side at a time, there's going to be some closures that are going to happen. During the east side replacement, Lewis will only be open to southbound traffic. If you're around the area, it's kind of what's going on, or what had happened this summer out on Bennett when they were reconstructing the east side. Southbound was open, and during the west side, northbound will be open. During this time, though, all traffic to the businesses will stay open. We'll make sure that there's a drive or any way that people can always access your business. So here we're going to kind of do a design concept review here. We have a little map that we're going to show. We'll go through, kind of show the whole project from start to finish. So down here is the southern end down at Laskey. As you can see, all the gray areas are going to be sidewalk and driveways, and then the green spot is going to be a new grass area between the back of curb and all the sidewalk. So as you can see, you have some new drives coming in here to access these businesses. A couple more drives. Here is the first parking bay that I had mentioned. And I know, Tim, now I'm looking at this, we probably would make this concrete anyways, being next to a parking bay. That way people, when they could access it when they get out of their vehicles. Can keep moving north here to Custer. From Custer to Southover, you can see there's 2 new driveways on the east side and 2 driveways on the west side to access businesses, along with the new sidewalk running the full length and the new grassy area. Next, we have south over and on the east side to Cloverdale. On the west side, you'll see here's the second parking bay that we were talking about. Again, you would have drives to access all the businesses with their parking lots, new sidewalk, and then a nice tree lawn, grassy area. Keep continuing north. More drives here on the east side, finishing out that parking bay, the whole stretch of south over to Weybridge. And I will also let you know that this will also be online after our presentation so that you can access it and kind of go over it at your speed and zoom in any further if you need to, if you'd like to look at anything into further detail. Weybridge, we'll have crosswalks so that you can access both sides of the road. New drive approaches for the businesses. Big drive approach for the fire station to keep access. Mayfair Boulevard, new walks for the crossing. Lots of green area, the grassy area. I think the tree lawn will make it look a little more welcoming instead of having all the impervious surfaces. A couple more drives coming through into business areas. And then here's that third parking bay here on the east side, just south of Linda Drive. As we continue north, also on this drawing, you can see the we have a little black line a little further. That's just your curb and gutter. That would be the gutter pan edge, and then you'd have your main road section. We're still planning to have 1 lane in each direction, north and south, and then a center turn lane down the middle for traffic on the new road. More drives coming in. Keeping the walk continuing. Still. I know it looks quite different. Lots of driveways, lots of grassy areas, and lots of sidewalk though that'll help with pedestrian traffic. Moving our way north to San Mateo Drive, which will also, Tim, that's in 2023, that San Mateo is being reconstructed also?
Yes.
Yep. So San Mateo will also be reconstructed in 2023, so that this will all be redone at the same time. Continuing north, all finished driveways. We will have new storm drains, like we said, catch basins, storm drains to help collect the water, keep from ponding. Here you see the sidewalk ends. That's just because there was existing sidewalk already at this location. So we just kind of connected in to the existing sidewalk. Right here is our butt joint. This was where we'll stop the full depth reconstruct, and we will be resurfacing from this point moving north, but we'll be adding, we'll dig out about 5 feet on the edge of each side of the road. That way we can place the new curb and gutter. Sidewalk ends here on the west side, tying into the existing walk that was already there. The last new drives. And then here we end our curb and gutter and we go back to type A curb, which was already curbed there. So we'll just finish resurfacing there. We won't have to add any curb. And this is the spot where the ODOT project that Tim talked about will be finishing up. So that's kind of how it looks the whole way through. As I said, if anybody would like to see that further, you could go to toledo.ohio.gov/roads, or you can, I will put in the chat here, Tim and I's emails. That way you could just shoot us an email with any questions, or you could just request this map and we can send it to you by email. Do you have anything else you think, Tim?
No, that goes through everything that we wanted to cover. We actually do have a question. Somebody said, will you be planting trees in the right of way in this project to help beautify the area, slow traffic, and improve air quality? If not, why not? For the most part, in the actual project, we do not have any trees in this. If you actually look at a lot of the locations, the area that we call between the curb and the sidewalk is called the tree lawn, and it is very thin. It is not wide enough to be able to accommodate a tree. It's actually, that's probably either 4 or 5 feet most of the way. There are a few of the areas that are a little bit wider. It could make sense to put some out there to try to beautify the area a bit, but I would, it's not going to be with this project. That is something that we could actually coordinate with our division of forestry. They would be able, if they think it makes sense to put a tree out there, that would be something that we could take care of. But it would not be part of the actual project. It would be something that they would plant afterwards.
I see.
There, I was going to say, there was also a question in regards to, will the traffic be reduced to 1 lane?
And yes, yep, it'll be reduced. If I go back here a couple slides, during the east side, when the road's being replaced on the east side, only southbound traffic will be able to access Lewis, and then on the west side, only northbound traffic will be able to access Lewis.
Yeah, it's not wide enough that we would be able to keep traffic in both directions and have it safe for the motorists and safe for the contractor. So we do have to just keep it in one direction.
Oh, one more just popped up. So who will be responsible for the upkeep and mowing the new green spaces?
Well, typically that would be the property owners. We will go in there and the contractor will seed it, and they would water depending on the maintenance of you know, their construction zone. They would go in and water it maybe a few times, but then it becomes the property owner's responsibility to make sure that it grows out to the full grass that it should be.
We still have a little time if anyone wants to ask any other questions. If not, once again, I want to thank all of you guys for joining us. And you have Tim and Joel's information in case you think of other questions in the next few days. Feel free to go ahead and get those to us and we will answer them for you. So once again, thank you very much, and everyone have a great evening and rest of the week.